Line that's on the ground, that red line is the best way to get the entire mural. That red line is the best way to get the entire mural. So if you're taking a picture, make sure you get behind that red line. That's going to be the best way to get the full mural. Thank you. Let's clap it up for my boy Tony too. We've been working diligently on trying to get the community together. There's so many moving parts. For those that don't know, we got something pretty awesome that's taking place. So last Friday, I got a lot of messages from people saying that the community wants to paint Black Lives Matter in front of City Hall, right? And we can clap it up. If you're with that, you can clap that up. That's cool. And so to really show the strength of the community and the strength of the people, what ended up happening was we did a social media campaign. Really, it was like, hey, everybody go tag City of Fresno on this post if you want to paint Black Lives Matter in front of City Hall. Over 1,000 plus comments later, on Friday, I got a call from the City of Fresno, the council members, and the city manager in specific, and she said, hey, what can we do? We're hearing these voices and we want to make it right, so what can we do? And I said, you know what? I said, the people have spoken and the people want to paint Black Lives Matter in front of City Hall. First thing she said was, let's do it. So, amazing. Shout out to City Manager Wilma. And pretty much what's gonna be happening this Thursday at 9 a.m., we want the community to come on out. We're gonna be painting Black Lives Matter on the street right in front of City Hall so we can make sure that the world knows that the community right here in Fresno, we want everyone to know we're standing with everyone across the nation right now. And the best part about that, that's just one part. That's phase one. I can't talk about phase 2 yet, but you know what I mean? I just want you to know there's a phase 2 of that. Also, what's going to be taking place on Thursday, I got to talk to the council and the city manager, and there's going to be a declaration of an annual proclamation that June 18th, moving forward in Fresno, California, will be known as Black Lives Matter Day. Which is truly amazing. And that's the people. That's the people that made that happen. So I want everybody to remember that all power goes to the people, because without the people, we are nothing. So I want to make sure everybody remembers that. So this Thursday at 9 a.m., we're painting Black Lives Matter in front of City Hall, and I want everybody to show up. If you can't show up, tell your neighbor, tell your friend, tell your granny, tell that white racist person that doesn't rock with you, tell them too that we painted Black Lives Matter in front of the City Hall. And I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our allies that are here today too, because our allies, we need you, we appreciate you, and we need you to be on the front line with us, okay? So all of the allies that are here and all the allies that are tuned in that are going to be seeing this across the nation, we need you to continue to use your voice to help us amplify our voice in order to make the change that we all want to see. So on the count of 3, I need everybody to make some noise right now for this beautiful gathering here today in the name of the community, man. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go last call for pictures with Super Tech. Last call for pictures for Super Tech. Last call, and then we're gonna get it situated for the visual.
Thank you guys.
Okay, she's right here. She's gonna kick this thing off with us with a prayer, and she's gonna say a couple words. But this visual right here is actually an opportunity for the community. We want the community to lead this. So we're just giving the opportunity and the platform for the community to be able to use their voice. I know I got to talk to a young lady that was asking to do a poem. I don't know where she went. Oh, here she is. Okay, cool. So we'll have her in a little bit as well. If you want to read a poem, you want to say a couple words, it's more than cool. And like I said, it's more of an open microphone type of situation. But I'm going to turn things over to Rachel to go ahead and bless us to get this thing kind of started. But we're passing out candles. We're going to get candles to as many people as we can. But once again, we truly appreciate everyone being here today. It is very, very important. But ladies and gentlemen, I hit Rachel up literally a couple of hours ago. And I said, can you please come and bless this place? And she said, hey, you know what? I'm going to be there. So let's give it up to Rachel, ladies and gentlemen.
So of course, I just want to say welcome everyone who is here. If you guys don't have candles, the number one thing you guys can use is your cell phones. Make sure you just put the flashlight facing up towards the sky once I get started with the prayer and the blessing. So important. I did sage the outside of the area, so the intention has been set. Since we have babies in here, I would not like the sage in here, but if you do want to get blessed, I'm going to step back outside to be able to bless people individually. That's something I will do for only 10 minutes, and then I will back out of that. So whoever has their phones, you guys, of course, turn the flashlight on. And the reason you want to put it up and face it toward the sky is because we're illuminating the beautiful lights that are George Floyd. If you don't know Gabriel Fernandez's story, his story is something to watch. We're going to wait for everyone to get their candles. We're going to get started. And if you guys have little ones, those of you with babies, I prefer you guys bring the kiddos to the front because they are our future. So those of you who have kids, if you don't mind bringing your kiddos to the front, I love kid energy. So you can bring your babies to the front. If you guys don't mind allowing them to bring their kids to the front, I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, bring your babies right. And if they don't want to, that's fine. Just bring your babies to the front as close as possible. And if you guys have regular candles to light, the beautiful ones like that, please do light them now. Thank you.
Yeah, you can hold one too. You can hold Mommy's. Mommy's gonna hold you.
So I'm gonna wait like 1 more minute so we can light all these beautiful candles or your phones or whatever you're holding up to the sky. And even if you guys are on the outside, same thing. If you guys have cell phones, it'd be great for you guys to illuminate your phones as well. And as we get started and as we start this intention, first and foremost, I do want to say what a beautiful it is that Super Tat shared us with his blessing of his art. That is a form of healing. That is a form that resonates with us all. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
And as we remember the beautiful life that was taken in George Floyd and countless others this week and prior, and as we remember the beautiful life that is Gabriel Fernandez, and as we honor those who are on the front lines tonight, we just want to remember that we resonate in love over hate always. That is our intention. That is the divine light's intention, and that's what we shall do. So it's amazing, more candles are going up, and once we get done with all of the candles, I'll go ahead and I will bow my head and we'll get started. You guys just give me the thumbs up when all the candles are done. As I come before you, as I bow my head, I come before you, higher divine. I come before you, God. I come before you, Buddha. I come before you, the Almighty Allah. I come before you in every high form that we all acknowledge you and we see you. As we unite here to remember the beautiful lights and the legacy of a man who was taken far too soon, and a young, beautiful, innocent child who was taken far too soon as well. And as those on the front lines continue to bless and unite and put their lives on the lines for us, we remember this, that George Floyd's life mattered. Gabriel Fernandez's life definitely mattered. But for the countless, countless people who have lost their lives coming over here on a ship at the bottom of the sea, 15 million, you matter. And to every person, especially here in the city of Fresno and cities across the nation, you matter. Black lives will continue to matter, and we will continue to resonate and keep our foot on that gas until change comes. And as we are here, we choose love. As the divine God has said, love over hate, always. We will remain strength in numbers, and we will gather more in numbers as we spread this message of the collaborative that has come together of DJ Kayrich, who say up front, of all the artists. We, underlining, want you to know that it is love over hate at all costs. So as your lights are illuminating unto the earth and as your kids are watching, they are our future. So I kindly ask, as I raise my eyes to them, that you continue to be a voice for those who are voiceless. And when my brothers and sisters are tired, I will walk with you. When my brothers and sisters cannot go on, I will carry you along the way. And if my brothers and sisters' lives are to be threatened, I will stand in front of a bullet for you. That is my solemn oath to everyone who is standing in front of me and those who come after me after my light is dimmed unto the universe. So as we are and as we shall always be, united as one front, in the city of Fresno, I say Ashe and Amen.
Ashe.
Where's Kayrich? You still not light his
All right, so at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I know there are a few people. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, once again, thank you so much, Rachel. We really appreciate that. That was beautiful. Thank you. At this time, we're going to go ahead and open it up for the community to lead this vigil, because that's what we want. We want more community leaders, and I believe that Dulce up front, myself, and the other organizers of this, we want to see the community to start leading. So we want to continue to amplify your voice. So at this time, we're going to open it up for a community-led vigil. And we're going to go ahead, come on up, have you do your poem first. And go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we'll get into it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marta Soto. I'm a school teacher and also product of the LA riots when I was young. So this poem is about the LA riots, and also it kicked off a poetry, I call it the poetry ramp, the last 2 weeks of COVID with my students. So I'm going to read my own personal poem and a poem written by one of my scholars, which is, my poem is called Let Love Heal. Let love heal. I woke up with a heavy heart. 1992 feels like yesteryear. 1992 is ever present here again. Love is stronger than hate. Love can win in the end, so I have been told. How is it possible that injustice be justified? How is it possible that injured spirits be ignored? Love has to win. Love is stronger than hate. I see 1992 all over again. I don't want to relive this. My heart feels heavy this morning. Let love heal. I read the poem to my students the following morning on virtual Zoom. So then I asked them to inspire, to look around them. I went through these, to use their 5 senses, and I guided them to write with what inspired them. So I have a student who wrote this profound poem, and I posted it on Twitter. And with her parents' permission, she was supposed to make it here tonight. I texted her the last minute, but this is Mia's poem. As soon as I can figure this out. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. So I'm Nico98 on Twitter. So this is on Twitter. This is from Mia Garcia, my 5th grader at Ann Leavenworth Elementary School. The world is changing, but some things remain the same. My heart is aching. The past is repeating itself. Why does life have to be this way? We are all the same at the end of the day. We are all people and there's no difference. Don't be silent, but don't be violent. Let justice be served. Let our voices be heard. Let us rise. There's power in size. Together we are stronger than ever. These are words from a 5th grader in my classroom. Thank you.
Thank you once again. So the mic is going to be open, okay? So if anyone wants to say any words, prayers, feel free. I don't have to come up every single time. I will if you guys want me to, but I'm trying to make sure everyone has candles and make sure the kids are good. So the mic is literally open for, once again, this community-led visual, okay? So thank you. So just when you come up, just introduce yourself, please, and then go ahead and say a few words. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Veronica, and I am an ally, and so I found this online, and I thought I'd just share it. It says, allyship is a love language, and as an ally, I am here to tell you. Tell me what you need. I don't know what to do or what to say, but I am here. At the ready, willing, no criticism, no judgment. If you tell me to do nothing, I will do nothing. If you tell me to speak, I will lift my voice. Even if the wrong things come out, no more will I be idle. No more will I watch you suffer. I am with you, here to listen, here to fight, here to shoulder and make up for the battles that I have missed. I may be late, but that won't happen again. Standing, holding, bleeding, mobilizing, unpacking my own biases, my own privilege, full time. I will learn, unlearn, disrupt systems of power. If you will have me or not, I'm doing the work. Thank you so much.
I think I'm going to shock a lot of y'all this evening. Y'all been looking at the riots from Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Oklahoma. A lot of that been going on. But I tell you about a riot was worse than that. This riot was in 1919 in Elaine, Arkansas. Look it on the internet. He talks about it a little bit on the internet, but in 1919, it was a racial riot in Elaine, Arkansas. About 1,500 to 2,000 people were killed. They would catch little black kids like this little kids right here, catch them and put them in a 100-gallon can, seal the can up, put holes in the can and throw them in the Mississippi River. This was going on in 1919. That was, I'm just gonna share a little bit more. I'm just gonna share a little bit more about it. I get nervous when I talk about it. It was a train that came to Elaine, and on the train there was soldiers. And like there was so much killing that was going on, this was after World War II. Black soldiers had heard about it. They came down here on the train, and they said that they killed so many people, they had to bury them at night. This is just a little bit of what happened in Elaine, Arkansas. There's not much on the internet, but I'm going to change that sometime soon.
It would be great to have the youth speak, like this little man here. You know, can you come over here and tell us how you feel about this? I'm all about the kids. I'm all about the kids. I never forget about the kids.
Yes, I do.
How do you feel about being here in front of all these people?
I respect this painting with George Floyd, and I forgot their names, but yeah. Respect from Fernandez.
Do you feel like we are one? Do you feel like, is there a race out here? Do you feel like, should we all stand together? Like, do you feel like we should all stand together? We should all be one out here in this world? We're all God's kids. Do you feel that way?
Yes, I do.
I'm not really good with words, but I'm gonna share something personal. You know, in this world that we live today, there's just so much hypocrisy and differences that are just plain out stupidity. They don't equal they don't represent us anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. I don't know if we're focused too much on the COVID-19 or we're just not focused on each other. Whatever that reason may be, honestly, it's just doesn't really help us at all. It takes all of us to make a difference. It takes each one of us to represent our voice and to know what we stand for, and to also back up our brothers that need our help. I personally, as a community person, took it as a responsibility to make myself part, which is why I took the challenge, to use it this way, the best way I know how. Which I'm a muralist and a tattoo artist, but my mural side of things, it's like it's helping. I believe it's helping. Like I said, I took it as a responsibility as a community person to try to make a difference, not just for me, but for the youth, for all of us. If each one of us, kind of took that as our responsibility as well, honestly, I feel like we would all make a difference. What's going on now, with the whole Black Lives movement, man, I'm totally down with that, man. If it's for positivity, I'm definitely down with that. All this racism crap, man, like, it's just stupid. Honestly, I was raised in between that kind of stuff. I always saw how it was just, it didn't make any sense at all. It still doesn't make any fucking sense, sorry. We are all God's kids at the end of the day. We are all God's kids at the end of the day. We all pray, to God, period. I personally, I'm going to tell you guys this, you guys are all my brothers and sisters, we're all equal. And the challenge that I took last summer to paint 100 murals around town, totally donated, it still stands. This will be 29th. So I, as your brother, will be here for you guys. If you guys have requests on murals, I honestly do take requests, but I always try to aim at what will bring us together. And I really truly hope that today is one of those nights. I thank DJ Kayrich for bringing it to my attention. I thank him for blessing me for the opportunity. And I thank all of you guys for being here. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I really don't talk in public, so this is the first. But just as Super Tot was saying, I don't call you Super Tot, but anyways, at first, before this whole movement started, luckily I was blessed, and I have been blessed to grow up in a community where I don't know what racism is. My family is very multicultural. We have African American, Chinese, and Punjabi, and Hispanic. So I don't know, and I didn't know what this was about. And I do work at the hospital. So again, when somebody is saving your life, I still do not know what this is about. And I was kind of on edge and a little, it's very difficult to be in the unknown. And I feel like a lot of people fear the unknown with the virus, the unknown with history, with our future. And I think the fear of all of this is what is going to have us move forward and be able to cause a change. And a couple days ago, actually, I'm sorry, a few days ago, I was talking to somebody and we were talking about the lives of African American people. And she asked me, well, where were they slaves at? You know, this is basic history that we all grew up in that we should know. You know, but we often forget because we get caught up in the lives that we live. And I feel that, and I kept thinking and I kept thinking and I kept thinking, and I'm like, well, this is going on all over around the world. You're talking about different continents that have constantly been going through these decades of slavery that people don't know about, or even, I don't even think they don't know about it, but they tend to forget about it. Because history just keeps repeating itself and repeating itself. And I think this is something that we need to change. And again, I do work in the healthcare field, but to me, a human being is a human being. And again, my mask, I guess that was appropriate. I said I was gonna wear my mask. And it says, be a good human being. And I just feel like this movement is, you know, I'm a religious person and I feel like God brought me here for a reason. And because I was so on the fence, because I was confused. And I feel like a lot of people are very confused about this movement. And I feel like it's something that all of us here can make a positive change about. And to educate people. And I will honestly say, and I don't have a lot of pride, but I can honestly say that when I go home later on today, I'm gonna go ahead and do more research and I'm gonna figure out what is going on. And I'm gonna figure out how I can be a better person, a positive person, to help save lives. Because in the future, honestly, and these kids, the way I grew up, not knowing what that is about, I grew up and I'm blessed. I grew up in a very in poverty, but I was lucky enough to not grow up with racism. And I think that is more than ever. And I feel like that is something that means more than anything in this world. And I think that's something that we should make a change about. So thank you all for having me here.
I promise to use kind words.
I promise to not be a bully by treating others and myself with respect.
I promise not to be a bully by treating others with respect.
I promise to help those that are in need.
I promise to help those that are in need.
I promise to listen.
I promise to listen.
I promise to take a stand and speak up for what is right.
I promise to stand and speak up for what is right.
I promise to spread love every day.
I promise to spread love every day.
I promise to follow the Kids for Humanity oath now and forever.
I promise to follow the Kids for Humanity oath now and forever.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Robert Palacio. I have a community garden here in Southeast Fresno, and I follow these people like Mr. Super Tat and DJ Kayrich. You know what? Let's go ahead and get Mr. DJ Kayrich. You mind coming up here? Here, let's give these two gentlemen a round of applause. Thank you. You guys did a great job, man. We really appreciate you guys putting this event together. Yeah, and Dulce up front, they have been a great help too. Everybody, you know, and La Masion Kebab, you know, they've been out here hosting us out here, so it's great to have this event. And I really admire these two gentlemen because they bring the community together, and it's so good to see all you guys' faces here. And I'm actually here because I want El Super Tat to work on a mural at my community garden in Southeast Fresno, and I admire his work. I'm a graphic designer myself, so I really do admire art. It's one of the greatest forms of expression. So thank you guys so much for bringing this community together, and you know, it does mean a lot. You know, like I look up to you guys, and you guys are definitely the community leaders that are standing up and filling the role that is needed. You know, like each and every one of us can become a leader. You know, we need more leaders in our life, to like, for all of us to take care of each other better, you know? So it's so good to see you guys all here. Like I said, I have a thing called Fresno Community Gardens, and I want to create eco spaces that are friendly for everyone, for all walks of life to come out and feel safe, just like this environment that they're creating. I want the youth involved. I want all walks of life involved. So, you know, like, there's so much. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate each and every one of you being out here. And, you know, with George Floyd, I think it's one too many lives, you know. So like, this is enough, you know. I'm glad we're rallying up together and creating a voice. You know, really do need to stand up with the funding of the police and creating those resources elsewhere where they are going to be more proactive. So yeah, that's just my little piece. I'm Robert Palacio. Thank you guys again, and thank you guys.
Safety does not mean more police. Thank you guys. The one-time art, seeing all of you out here together. Thank you for this mural. It's amazing, and thank you, DJ Kayrich, for hosting this. This is absolutely amazing, and it just warms my heart. It makes me so happy seeing all of you guys out here standing in one. And the fight's not going to stop. We're going to continue to fight. Thank you.
Robert's mom. There's a Mexican proverb that says, they thought they buried us. They didn't know we were seeds. And that goes to all of us. No matter how much they keep trying to bury us, we keep growing and we grow stronger and we spread. And our children continue, and their children will continue.
Amen.
So, short but sweet.
Hello, my name is Mikey. I just wanted to come up and say something. I think this is a very pivotal moment in history. What we choose to do and choose to say speaks volumes. I was telling a friend earlier, you know, my babies are gonna grow up one day and ask what happened here, how I felt about it, and what I did about it. And I refused to say that I stayed home and sat on the couch and did nothing. I came out, I hit up Woman last night asking how can I contribute, what can I do, and she told me about this, and I came out here today and I keep coming out and keep trying to do anything besides nothing. The fact that you guys are all out here today, you know, I just wanted to say thank you, and we got to keep it up, okay?
Hello, my name is Des. I'm a local business owner. My family owns Take 3, that's right here across the street. I'm a black woman and a Fresno native. I just wanted to say that I'm really happy to see all of this unity right now. I very much relate to the young sister that was up here before and feeling like there's a bit of recovery that has to be done in us. Like, I'm talking to this guy all the time, like, please just step back for a moment, take a minute to breathe and recoup, because there's so much that we're all taking in every day, so much imagery, so much violence, so much racism, so much disgusting behavior. And I truly believe that the majority of us, these things do not compute, because this is not us, it's not who we are internally. And I think that what's happened for a long time is that those that do feel that way have been a lot more vocal than we have. And so it's good to see us all coming out here and speaking up. We need to get just as loud as these people. I don't know why. I mean, I guess that's what oppression is, right? That it's kept us down and it's kept us quiet. But I really want to get loud. I want to start speaking up. And I want us all to be louder than they are. So much louder that they start to go, maybe I should be quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't yell at that lady in the parking lot or the grocery store or at the park. Maybe I should be quiet. And the only way that's gonna happen is if we start to get loud.
Amen.
As loud as they are, because we'll drown them out. There's so many more of us. How many of you are outraged when you see a video, go back to Mexico, and you're livid? I'm livid, and it doesn't matter what color the person is in the video. It doesn't matter if they're Asian, or I would be mad if it was someone white. I'd be mad if I saw a black person tell a white person, leave this country. Like, you just shouldn't say shit like that. Sorry, you just don't say stuff like that. And it's not okay, so I really would like us all to just get a little bit louder.
Amen.
About how we are feeling and what is acceptable and what is not acceptable in this country. And that stuff is not. It's not acceptable anymore. So, that's all I got.
Anyone else? If there's anyone else, we'll go ahead and call in the last maybe one or two people.
Hey everyone. So earlier tonight, Super Cat said, you know, I want to hear from the youth, and I go, that's me, that's me. And then we see this young gentleman step up, and I go, that's not me anymore. Like, excuse my language about, like, oh shit. I'm gonna be 18 in a few months, you know? Some people are already 18, some people out there driving cars, I wish. No, that's not me. And we're taught a lot of things in school, but, you know, in my sophomore year of high school, one of the things that my teacher said is that, you know, I really wish we focused more on civil rights as opposed to how many wives Henry VIII decapitated, you know? And I can't agree more, you know, I would much rather hear about what Hispanics like my grandfather did in the past. My mother, she was the first speaker, hi mom, and you know, what she went through during the LA riots, you know, everything I've heard about the LA riots has been through, or everything we've heard about police brutality has not been in the classroom, and that's a huge issue, and I hope that comes to a resolution here. And one of the things that's kind of been turned on its head once I've come out of high school is that you're always told to look up to some of the highest authorities. And it's very ironic that when you're told to shoot for the moon and shoot to become the president, the current president is anything but someone you would want to look up to. Yeah. That the people who hold authority, the people who wear nice outfits and go to those board meetings and get to decide what we do with our future, what the people do with their future, are the people that's least affected by it. They're the people who have the opportunity to have the highest education. They're the people who are told that they're going to be something in the world while the rest of us sit in office with a counselor and are told that we shouldn't move ahead because we weren't built for it. What does that mean, you know? Because the president wouldn't say out of the kindness of his heart that he would make this entire mural without any pay. That he himself would come out and do all this work, not because he wants the paycheck, but because he wants to do good and he wants to inspire others. Because when I come out of high school, I've realized that the people we idolize, the people we look up to, should not be people like our president, like the people in nice outfits that go out and do this nice work in offices for thousands of dollars. But the people who get on their knees and who do the dirty work to make our world a better place. People like the people who are here today. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you for making a world and for making a statement so that we, the upcoming generation, people who have to help you with your issues and inherit the next generation's issue with problems, so that we, the next generation who are graduating this year, the class of 2020, can make the world a little bit better in your image. So thank you.
Mom, you should be proud right now. That was beautiful.
Wow, I don't know how I'm going to top that. Shout out to Cruz, class of 2020, Edison High. What's up? Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Dominic. I'm a recent Edison High School graduate, and I'm also a local community organizer here in Fresno. So yesterday, actually, I attended the Fresno City budget hearing about police, and I actually want to share something that happened. So we had some ignorant trolls hiding behind a keyboard and a screen come in and say some very derogatory, racial slurs about African Americans and Mexicans, and it was very disgusting. And Councilwoman Esmeralda Soria actually stepped up and she said, well, you know what, we're going to track your IP address and whatever email you use, and we're going to send your information to the cops because that is not okay.
Amen.
And it isn't okay, and nobody should ever say something like that about Asian people, Mexican people, white people, black people, any kind of race. And so I actually gave a public comment, and I'm actually all for defunding the police. I don't know if any of you guys are out here are here for that. Yeah, let's defund the police because this is ridiculous. I mean, as we all know, over 53% of Fresno City's budget goes towards the Fresno Police Department, and that's absolutely ridiculous because our low-income communities primarily have racial minorities in them. And I come from Southwest Fresno, and there's a liquor store and there's fast food restaurants on every corner. I'm just outraged because I look at all these other different neighborhoods on the north side, and I see much more healthier options for food for these people, but our people over here are suffering. There's obviously a lower life expectancy rate for people living in Southwest Fresno and these low-income communities, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So I actually want to share my public comment that I gave yesterday. So I said, as we all know, 50% of Fresno City's budget is spent towards policing. With the history of violence against black and brown people with police officers that has persisted over the years under former police chief Jerry Dyer's reign, and the killing of 16-year-old Isaiah Merida Golding, the police are clearly not doing their job. Our police system operates under a system that benefits off of systemic racism. If there's so much money being spent on policing, then why is there still no proper training for these police officers? And why are people still falling victim to police brutality? These funds are clearly not being put to good use, and these funds can be put elsewhere, such as low-income communities of color, which have been severely underfunded for years and have very limited resources. So as a result, I'm asking for the defunding of police and redirecting the money elsewhere, such as the schools in such low-income communities, mental health services, as well as youth services for our kids. I come from the projects in Southwest Fresno, so I have experienced firsthand such inequitable resources, and both my family and I have experienced such hardships and have witnessed other families who have gone through the same thing. The police do not need this much funding. The police do not need more money for tear gas. The police do not need more money for bullets. The police do not need more money for militarized equipment, and the police do not need more money to hurt our people.
Amen.
The people are crying for change. Don't you hear us? I strongly urge you all as city council members to consider this request and make better investments in our youth and our community. You, as city council members, must do better by our communities of color and do better by our people. I've said it one too many times, but I'll say it again.
To my black brothers and black sisters, growing up, I didn't know what the right terminology was, and that happens to be something that a lot of people question. And so I just want, for clarification for the community, what should we say? Should we refer to our brothers and sisters as black or African American? I know that is just something that a lot of people are afraid to say or say wrong, or we don't know, what terminology exactly to say. So if one of you can just come up and clarify for our community, that way we don't ever offend anybody, or just, for clarification. I know that that's something that everyone struggles with.
Yeah, like some of my sisters and brothers are saying over here, it's a personal preference. As I was growing up, I was always, marking the African American bubbler when they asked. I was saying African American, right? But then as my mom started teaching me more and more about Black history, I actually was like, nah, I'm not African American, I'm black. And I think I took the power back, because if you look in the dictionary and you look in the definition of black over the years, and you start dating back, black in the dictionary, which was written by racists, the definition of black was actually soot. It is literally the opposite of light, the opposite of things that are great. So that's what it was originally. So unfortunately, the systemic and just the racist practices that took place over time, in my personal opinion, caused my people to kind of want to, you know, we have the conversation within the black community all the time. You know, our black brothers and sisters that are light skinned tend to get certain quote unquote more privileges than some of our dark skinned brothers and sisters. And I think that's with a lot of different cultures and races, right? That's fair, right? So you got to keep in mind that stems from white is right, and if it's black, send it back. And that's BS, right? I was told that in high school, you know, on my football team in high school, I was, you know, things were said like that. I remember going to we won the football game, and I went to the house party afterwards, and on the cardboard, they put a cardboard box on the door, and it said no N-words allowed. My own teammates. See what I'm saying? That happened to me in high school, dating back to, I don't know, I'm kind of getting off topic, but I'll bring it back. And then in 3rd or 4th grade, we're reading a book called Dr. Dolittle. And a lot of people don't, you know, you hear Dr. Dolittle, you think of the movie with Eddie Murphy, but if you actually do your history, the edition that we were reading of Dr. Dolittle had a lot of racist and derogatory terms towards black people, including the N-word. And I'm in 3rd grade reading this. Not just reading it at home, I'm talking in the class. And you guys remember, oh, you read the first paragraph, you read the second. And anytime that word came up, the entire classroom is just looking directly at me, right? So there's these things that is bigger than just, unfortunately, with George Floyd. It's bigger, it's way bigger, and that's why it's important for everyone to use their voice. But me personally, like my sister said, it's preference, black versus African American. But me personally, I'm black and I'm proud, period. You see what I'm saying? So, we have a lot of allies here tonight, and we truly appreciate it. And as an ally, I've gotten a lot of messages and DMs from people asking, what can I do to help? Show up. Thank you for showing up. I get questions in my inbox nonstop. What can I do? I don't want to bring my kids to the protest because I see what's happening across the world. Okay, well, why don't you take this Kids for Humanity oath with your kids so we can go ahead and stop the constant cycle, and we can stop and we can get to the kids, just like Super Tat's saying, we can get to the kids early so they can understand. Now we're gonna break that cycle, because unfortunately, this whole cycle continues and we gotta get that to stop. So there's different ways you can contribute from behind the scenes. You can go talk to your job, your place of employment, and say, hey, how come we haven't made a stance on this whole thing that's going on? How come we haven't had a group discussion? How come we haven't done anything to be able to be there for our black and brown community members or black and brown employees? I have a friend in Seattle, and she said that their boss is not touching the topic, hasn't sent anything out or anything. And I'm happy she's an ally and she's putting the pressure. She's putting all this pressure, so hopefully something happens with that. Because that's what it is. Us, the people, we have the power. And as long as we apply the pressure, change will happen. We cannot stop with the pressure. That's the only way this thing is gonna work. So everyone that's here today, I'm hoping you can come to the Black Lives Matter painting in front of City Hall. That is a historic moment. I'm gonna say that again. That is a historic moment. And as the kids get older, and as you get older, you wanna be able to tell your kids like, hey, you remember when we went out to this? You remember when we did this? Because I'm telling you right now, they may not try to put this in the history books. Let's keep it all the way real. The 2 weeks of learning about different cultures is BS. And we don't even have to get into Christopher Columbus, you feel me? We ain't even gotta get into that. But I challenge everybody here to continue to do research and educate each other. Have that conversation. Hey, I just found this out. Did you know this? you want to teach your kids. Like you know what I do? I purchased over like 100 of these Black History flashcards, and I give them out to all my nephews, my nieces, the friends. I just have them in the car, and anytime I see young black kids, I'm like, here, take this. That's what we need. We need to continue to educate each other, and the only way this is going to work is if we do this as a community. It takes a village to raise a child, correct? So us as a village, we have to come together in order to make this change. That's the only way this is going to work. Only way this thing's going to work. So I know I can be up here talking for 4 hours. I'm going to keep it all the way funky with you. But what I would appreciate everyone to do, because what I'm a firm believer in, is if you know better, you'll do better. I'm a firm believer in that. So therefore, we all might not know the ins and outs of how policy works and politics work. We might not know that. And that's perfectly okay, because they don't want us to know that. That's perfect. So what we have to do is educate each other, right? That's what we have to do. Anybody out here that needs education and information on the things that are taking place right here in Fresno, California, if you have an Instagram account, I want you to follow this Instagram account right now. Please pull your phone out and follow this Instagram account. It is probably one of the best accounts that is keeping you informed and up to date. It's an independent, fact-based media project covering Central Valley politics for millennials and Gen Z residents. Now, all of my boomers that are here, you can still follow too, okay? It's perfectly okay. All right, it is US Park Valley. That's US Park and then Valley, all right? I need you to follow. If you're not following yet, you gotta follow, and they keep you up to date with a lot of things going on, and it's gonna give you literally the Cliff Note version of all the craziness going on, okay? So I need you guys to please follow them, stay informed, and continue to use your voice. That's why we're doing this tour. Go say up front. That's why we're doing this tour. Lift every voice, and we're using art as our weapon, right? So once again, we appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. Please, please clap it up for Super Tat one more time. That's my brother right here. Please clap it up for Ducle up front. Ome, Tony, clap it up. Please make some noise for Masion Kebab for letting us come up over here to do this. And please clap it up for all of the allies that are here today. We appreciate you more than you know. And I want you guys to remember one thing. If you didn't hear anything today, please remember one thing. Your voice matters. So we need you to lift your voice so that way we can make this change, all right? We're gonna leave it open for more pictures. We got Super Tats, different merch over here. So if you wanna support this amazing, dope, world-renowned artist, you can check out some of these prints from different murals from around the city. They're right here. That's where the t-shirts are. If you need water or snacks on your way out, please take water and snacks. And one more time, give it up to DJ Arturo from Mas Entertainment Weddings for providing the music today. And once again, we appreciate each and every one of you for coming on out. Thursday, Black Lives Matter, we're painting it at 9 a.m. in front of City Hall. And then on Saturday, we will be at, Tony, come here real quick, I'm drawing a blank. On Saturday, where are we gonna be at painting?
We're gonna be at Barrios Unidos. There's gonna be a mural being painted there. And there's also gonna be a mural. There's gonna be a mural at Barrios Unidos, which is right across from Roosevelt High. And then there's also gonna be a mural being painted on H Street and Divisadero for a Black Lives mural. Thank you.
So again, stay informed, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate everybody once again. Feel free to take the pictures and whatnot. Thank you very much for coming here tonight. And can we get a Black Lives Matter real quick, man? 1, 2, 3.